Hey everyone, it's the Financial Reboot Investment Team with the live show. It is Monday, 11/13. Hope you had a great Veterans Day weekend. It was a pretty lethargic day today in the market, but we did have one play that we did release for free on the show, and it's up about 150, 200% right now, depending on when you got in. So how's that for a free pick? 10, 11 days, 150, 200%. Let's get on with the show. Enough bragging. Anyways, let's talk about the spider. The S&P 500. This is a chart of the spider for you newer traders. The SPY is, of course, the ETF for the S&P 500. One of the most popular ways to play the broad market, play the market as a whole. Probably the most popular ETF. We don't have any plays on it right now, but it's something that we do use when we're anticipating big market moves one way or the other. Um, you can see everything happened in that first hour of the market. Spider opened up real red, pushed up to about the 258 level, and then it just held there. It wasn't a big movement either way, maybe about 50 cents movement top to bottom. Just a very lethargic market. But, we read a lot on the message boards. This is the end of this, and this is the end of that. Go short, buy your puts, blah, blah, blah. But, we always remember this old saying, one of the oldest sayings we remember from our long careers. And what that is never short a dull market. So we didn't. Today, in case you're wondering, for you, those of you that play along with us, we didn't open any new positions today. We didn't close any new positions today. And let's talk quickly about what we're playing and what we've been talking about. You guys know we're in a Coke play. We've got some $47 calls. Coke had another good day. You can see started off low about 44, 45.30, and then it ended up at about 46.70 for the day. That's a nice little move for Coke. It's a big stock, and it's hard to move it. And if we can get one more move like this, we're in the money on the option. So we decided to just sit on these, see how it goes. The other one we've been talking about is Cisco. Cisco has earnings on Wednesday. That was our plan all along, is to carry this as close to earnings as possible. If we do get a pop into tomorrow where these are nice and profitable, right now that are pretty much break even, right around break even. If we do get a nice pop into tomorrow, we'll sell a portion of it and we'll carry some into earnings to see if we can get another pop off that. But we'll sell some before the earnings just in case earnings don't go well. That eases the pain. And you can see Cisco started off the opposite of Coke. It started up pretty hot, around that 34, 35, $34.35 level, and it got up as high as 34.50, and then it kind of just sold down the rest of the day. Not sold down, but it had a little sell down here, and then it just kind of baselined. So, like I said, that was the plan all along. We've been talking about it with Cisco. Earnings are on Wednesday, so we'll see how it goes into tomorrow. We'll just analyze that trade as we go. We got some big Bitcoin news from the company, so we'll be talking about that after we talk about our stocks. Now, look, if 10, it was 10, 11, 12 days ago, we gave you a free pick. We gave you the pick as we played it. That was XLP. If you had followed along, you'd be up about 150, 200% right now. That's on a free pick. Um, so you're welcome. Anyways, let's take a look at XLP. You see I had a big green bar to start the day, then it held that base. It had a big sell up, man. All of a sudden at about 2 o'clock, and then it came back down, but it held that level real nice, and it had nice green volume to close the day. We really like this trade. We're in $56 calls for January. This play still has a couple months left on it, and we're already up almost 200%. So if you played along, look, you protect your profits. Anytime you're in a trade and say you go out 2 months on an option trade like this, this is for you new traders. Anytime you get a play like this, now if you're not sure and you have low risk tolerance and stuff, just think about it. Already you're up over 100%. Sell half and you get your investment back and ride the rest. It's like riding free money. You're playing with house money. So, from financial reboot to you, enjoy. So let's talk about Bitcoin because we've got our wallet set up. We've been talking about for a few days. We've got our wallet set up. We've got everything set up to where we can buy and sell Bitcoin now. And so now we have to, the rubber needs to hit the road and we have to pull the trigger. But you can see this is a 7-day Bitcoin chart. You can see this is where we blasted off up to that 7,900. And it's been a trickle down since. It looks like we got a little bottom, double bottom here with some support, but we're not real confident because it keeps having trouble right around that $6,600 level, and that, it looks going back to here that there might be a little resistance there. Um, what our plan is we're going to see if we get a retracement one more time down to that 56 $5,700 level. We think it's in the cards, and if it does, that'll be our buy point. We're going to try and get in about 56 $5,600, 5,600 $5,700. um, if it holds that bottom. A third try at a bottom, it could go either way. It could be a springboard for huge gains. It could also be the death trap, the last nail in the coffin. So if it does retrace back to that 57, 5,600, we'll analyze it there. If it looks like it's going to bounce off, we'll make our first buy. We'll keep you updated though. If you want to follow along on these, uh, as they happen, you can subscribe to the newsletter. We didn't realize it when we were talking about the newsletter last week, but we didn't realize that the marketing department actually has a great offer for the newsletter right now. It's $7 for the first month. Think about it. If you had just bought XLP when we had made the call, you probably would have paid for 3 years, 4 years of the newsletter in one trade. So, um, if you're an active trader, if you're looking to start trading, if you need some help, absolutely check out the newsletter. The link's on the bottom of this. But like we said, you see Bitcoin had a good day, really good day. It's been strong. That was the end. Looks like that was the end of the sell-off. Started to recover, ran out of juice there, and then it hit this bottom again. It bounced right off, and it actually took out the tops here. So that's bullish, but it's not bullish enough for us. So we didn't want to get in yet. Let's see if we get the retrace to 5,600. If not, we'll make a decision going forward if we think it's going to break out. But that's where we are with Bitcoin right now. So we like Bitcoin. We looked at all the different coins for what we were going to use to talk to the subscribers and to you guys and stuff, and what we were actually going to play ourselves. And we just decided to go with the granddaddy, yeah, with Bitcoin. So we'll keep you guys informed on that. Let's go take a look at the markets for the day. So you can see Dow up 0.07, the S&P up a tenth of a percent, Nasdaq up a tenth of a percent. The VIX was up almost 2%. It was even higher than that, but it's still not giving us that big flash. So really, there's not a whole lot of fear building into the market. There looks like some fear trickled into the market today, but not enough to cause any damage. So we'll see how that goes. Now, there's some big news that happened today. Most of it was just the same old rhetoric from last week: the Trump tax plan, the Roy Moore stuff, um, the Menendez trial. All the same old stuff. But there was some new stuff that kind of came out that's important. GE had a big meeting where they announced a turnaround plan. Poor Jack Welch, man, he must just be heartbroken out what they've done to his company at GE. But the big thing is here, and turnaround plans are great. You know, hope they work. But the big thing here is we think there's more selling coming into GE, and the reason is they cut that dividend 50%. Anybody that the funds and everyone that owns the GE, they own it for the dividend, the consistency of the dividend. It's been a very consistent thing, and the growth of the company. So when you cut that dividend, you're really hurting the stock. So we're gonna take a look at it and see if there's a play in there. But we've actually got a pretty good watch list right now, potential plays. And that's what we do when, like a day like today, it's real lethargic, no volume, nothing happening, market trading sideways, not going up, not going down. Stocks are kind of just not going up, not going down. We'll start building a watch list for our next set of plays, right? And right now, we're just looking to close out those last two trades from November, which are Coke and the gold play. And then everything else is either December or January options. We'll keep an eye on those going forward. But ideally, it looks like we're going to be able to get out of the Coke play with a nice profit here. The way Coke's been moving. Our concern, of course, is gold. Gold had a decent day today. Spot gold got as high as 121.40, or GLD got as high as 121.50. But it just couldn't get significantly over that level. But there's still a lot of stuff going on in the global climate. So look, at this point, our trade's not going to get any worse. So let's see if we can get some more out of it. Let's see if we can get something out of it. Those are the live plays we're in right now. Is the Spider, the Coke, and the gold, Cisco, and XLP, which is up 200%. So the big news we saw was this tax plan, the version that's coming out of the Senate. Look, we don't play the fangs at Financial Reboot. We feel like if you're going to be a FANG player, you shouldn't be trading them. You should be buying them and holding them. And that's just not our style, right? We're looking for a little bit quicker movement and things like that. But if we're going to do it grandma style and we just buy something and check on it in 10 years, it would be a FANG stock, right? Tech is everything. You look back through the history of this country, the big economic spurts, they come from revolutions, right? The Industrial Revolution, right? Well, in today's day and age, it's the tech revolution, and so we should be supporting these tech companies. And something came out of this Senate plan, and what it is options. Right now, when these smaller startups and stuff, they don't have enough cash to lure good talent. They use stock options. It's the promise of big gains in the future. When they issue you right now, when they issue a potential a new employee some stock options, they don't pay taxes on that until they cash in the options or exercise them. Now the federal government wants to tax them as they're vested, which means when they're issued. This could really hurt smaller tech companies. This could hurt innovation. So, it's probably something that we feel like the Senate should back off of that. It's funny. This whole tax plan started out, and we looked at it, and we thought it was, there were some bumps in it, but we liked the tax plan overall. But now that it's gone to the House and the Senate, and they're doing whatever they do to it, it's just it's for some reason they're going backwards. So we'll see if they can get it together. I mean, they're still talking Thanksgiving, but realistically, that's probably not going to happen. We don't think. There might be a sell-off because of that. So we'll see. I mean, Thanksgiving's what, 2 weeks away. The same old news with the Roy Moore stuff and all that. Yeah, it's ugly. And talking about GE, we heard Kramer say something that actually really, really caught us off guard. Jim Cramer came out and said, in all his career, the worst investment he ever made, or the biggest mistake he's ever made, is buying GE. Interesting, right? I mean, GE used to be the gold standard for long-term investing, and even Jim Cramer's turned on it. So, uh, U.S. transportation workers to face testing for prescription opioids next year. I don't know how that's going to work out. I mean, if the doctor says you need to take it. But anyways, so you guys remember we played ATVI, Activision Blizzard, a few weeks ago, and they make Call of Duty, I believe League of Legends, and a couple other big games. But it's kind of funny. We always talked about how serious these gamers are, and Electronic Arts is another software developer, gaming software developer, and they are mostly known for like their Madden football. They make all the big sports ones, a lot of different sports stuff. But they bought the Star Wars franchise and they just released a version of the game. It's so unpopular they're getting death threats. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, these guys take their gaming seriously. Um, Budweiser, slumping market, blah blah blah. It's probably football's fault. And this was kind of the push down on gold today too. You see, Trump is showing some flexibility on North Korea. There's just soft rhetoric coming out right now. I mean, I think Kim Jong Il uh, came out this morning and he made some really strong statements, but really nobody's listening to him anymore. But we find it interesting. he didn't dare do anything while Trump was in Asia. I mean, that there's a good chance that if he did, it would have been viewed by the military community as a direct shot at our president, direct attack on our president, like physical attack. And so the consequences probably would have been just earth shattering. But now that Trump is out of Asia, um, we think maybe he might do a test or something. But there's still all the other stuff going on right now, and we had some big earthquakes too and things. This could help springboard gold. Like at this point, we had the two dips to 1275 on spot gold, um, which it bounced off real well. It's bounced off that right now. I think it was as high as 1279 today. But that really will be our pivot right now. If it goes and it hits that 1275 and it starts to break it, we'll kill the trade, um, because the third time probably won't be a charm. I know you're thinking triple bottom, but gold is a little different. So that's the way we're gonna play that. And we were talking last week about Disney. Said they were gonna come out and straight up compete with Netflix. Good luck with that. Amazon, one of the smaller players, right, in the streaming, they just picked up a Lord of the Rings TV series. I mean, come on, Disney. What do you really have besides the cartoons and stuff which you can watch on most? Look, I'll tell you something about cartoons and stuff with like Moana and all this stuff. What is it, Snow White, and most parents, almost all parents, they already own the DVD. They don't need your streaming of the Disney films. Trust me, I know this. Let's end the Joe Biden for president delusion right now. I was like, kind of surprised. We were all the reading we did this weekend. There was a lot of serious talk about Joe Biden running against Trump in 2020. That would be interesting. I think Joe Biden will be about 170 years old by then, um, and he's kind of been out of politics. And we just don't look at Joe Biden. We know he's a cherished guy from the left, and he's a likable guy, and he's kind of like your kooky grandpa at the Thanksgiving party and stuff like that. But he just doesn't have what it takes to win a presidential race, especially against a Trump. I mean, oh my God, Trump will beat you down. He doesn't care. Um, so Amazon's kind of decided that they're not going to sell prescription drugs. That was kind of something we talked about a couple weeks ago, when they started making certain accusations, Whole Foods and stuff, that they were going to use those licenses to sell prescription drugs. Personally, I thought they were going to do that, but it turns out, unless Jeff Bezos is throwing a little smoke screen, it's not going to happen. Uh, Other than that, there's just not a whole lot of influential news today. And this is just the attention Bitcoin bears. The CME, they announced on the 31st of October that they're gonna have a futures contract for Bitcoin by the end of the year. That's all it is. They're just telling you, that's a great tool for shorting, is a futures contract. So, um, other than that, the news was tame. We're still in the same picks. We didn't get into anything. We didn't get out of anything today. And we kind of reviewed what we're up to. Don't forget, if you enjoy these shows, if you enjoy the video, if you get something out of it, please share it. Please subscribe. Please like it. Please pass it on. We can use any help we can get. Anyways, so let's call it a Monday, because it was a nice, happy weekend. Hope you guys had a great Veterans Day weekend. We did in Honolulu. We had torrential rain Saturday, but we still had a lot of fun. It's still an island paradise, even if it's under 3 feet of water. So, you know what, gang? We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. As always, if you got any comments or questions, post them in the comments section. If you want a question for tomorrow's show, pop it in there. The last few shows, nobody's been asking questions, so I've been just kind of ranting about news and stuff. If you're trying to get me to stop doing that, then ask a question. Anyways, you guys have a great Monday afternoon. We'll see you guys. We'll be back bright and early for the market. Aloha.